Crime on the rise in Baltimore. This is not good. The number of arrests plummets, shootings and homicides up drastically. This in the wake of the death of Freddie Gray and 6 Baltimore officers charged in connection with his death. The police commissioner says his officers are now confused about the job they are required to do. Have police in that city given up? Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke with me now. And sir, good morning to you and thanks for coming back to America's Newsroom. Can you explain what's going on? 36 dead in Baltimore so far this month. That's the highest number they've had in 16 years, sir.
This is a manifestation of President Obama's, 21st century transformation of American policing. Look, Bill, Baltimore's in crisis, and it's in crisis because of a failure of leadership, starting at the top with the mayor. The mayor made several fatal errors in the days following the death of Freddie Gray. First, the stand-down order. That was horrible. Next, she wrapped herself around Al Sharpton in the days following the riots. Bad move. Third, she reversed herself on saying that the people who were doing the rioting were thugs and then said we don't have any thugs in Baltimore. She's got a lot of thugs in Baltimore. They were out last weekend. And fourth, calling in the Justice Department, throwing her police department overboard and blaming them for what's going on in Baltimore. She has failed to get her arms around this situation. This is a failure of leadership. If I were advising her, here's what I'd tell her to do quickly. First, I'd have her go to the police officers to each precinct and apologize. Then I'd make a public apology. Second thing I would do is I would put the thugs on notice that she's going to turn this police department loose and she's going to back them within the Constitution and within reasonableness to get the city under control. And the last thing I do, she's got to make a decision on Commissioner Batts. He was part of that 21st century policing task force that Obama threw together. And he threw his lone law enforcement agency under the bus when he said they were to blame for what's going on in Baltimore. And then the other thing that she has to do in the end is call Loretta Lynch and say, look, I changed my mind. We don't want you involved in our police department. Wow. We will straighten this out ourselves. This is our problem.
That would be an enormous reversal. I'm not sure that's going to happen.
It's called leadership, Bill.
But the prosecutor's been aggressive, too. So now you have this effect in the community with the police as well. This is what the Associated Press writes about what's happening there. West Baltimore residents worry they've been abandoned by the officers they once accused of harassing them. That is a significant turnaround for the tone in that town.
Well, you know, the thing is, the police were doing a fine job, okay, before the riots. I mean, it's tough to police any urban area. We know that. But what we want is the backing of the political class. The political class has to rise above the slime that's being thrown around, tarnishing the honor, the distinction, the character of the American law enforcement officer. But instead, they got down into that gutter and started throwing some of that slime around as well. Baltimore's finest haven't quit on the city of Baltimore. They haven't quit on their profession.
You don't think so?
What they've quit on, Bill, is the political class. That's where the decision has to be made. Are they going to stay on with this mayor? And that's something the voters are going to have to make. But she's got to make a decision whether she wants to continue with Commissioner Batts, who this police department has given up on.
Oh. So it's all on the mayor based on what you're saying here. It comes down to her leadership and how things change or not.
Her failed leadership. Leadership starts at the top. That's where the buck stops. She has to make it clear that everything that's gone on in Baltimore is her responsibility, and she will take responsibility for that. And she has not done that, Bill. So that's why I said they're in crisis, because of failed leadership.
Yeah. Some residents before was over-policing. Now there's no police. I haven't seen the police since the riots. That is not safe for a community. Sir, thank you for your time. David Clarke in Milwaukee. We'll speak again.
It's my pleasure.
You bet. Martha.